Hey, what it do, sports world? And welcome to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to give you all my week 4 recap. Um, and what surprised me the most in week 2, my upset picks. Some of them didn't go as planned, but hey, that's the way this thing works. But at the end of the day, it's still a great day that God woke me up. Hey, also make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. And also, you all see the Facebook and the Instagram page. Hey, make sure y'all go there and just click on it, follow me. Um, and hey, you all can get all the content that I'm putting out. Okay. I'm about to get ready to start also another show that's going to be just a motivational show, everyday life. I'll be talking about that on that show, and then also we're gonna start a little debate show with me and some and whoever want to come on, basically, and then we'll start a little debate show, basically us talking about sports, debating on all opinions. Okay, but hey, thank you all again for tuning in to the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray D. This right here is my week 4 recap, and also the upsets that I had. Some of them didn't quite go through, but in the end, I feel good about my prediction this week. I think I was like 12 and 3. I think all except one of my upset picks was good, and that's why I keep riding with this one team. We'll talk about them in a minute, but I'm gonna start off with number 4, Florida State and Clemson. Clemson had the game won. K. Covenant, you just can't overcome a fumble return for a touchdown. I think Dabo, bad play management. The ACC had a lot of bad management today. Bad play management today. I can't even lie, because it was third down and one. Instead of them running it with Will Shipley, they wanted to throw a screenplay, lose 1 yard or 2 yards, and then that's right there how the game ended up turning the way it did because of that one play. Instead of them running it, getting the first down, and then come with the screenplay after that play. But in the end, Florida State continued their remarkable season, 31-24 in overtime. Like I said, Travis had a really good game. Jordan Travis had a really good game, and he pretty much, even being hurt, he still found a way to lead this team. And as you know, Florida State, the number 4 team in the nation, still remains undefeated. Okay, as you all know, I already talked about the number 15 Ole Miss Rebels at number 13 Alabama. Alabama beat them 24-10. We've already discussed that in another episode with another segment. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Arkansas at number 12 LSU. I've been telling people all week. I was telling them, I was warning them. I said, listen, LSU not gonna blow Arkansas out. Like they never blow Arkansas out. It's always a good game. And if you take away the penalties, the bad plays and the false starts and all this other stuff, Arkansas wins this game. Arkansas beats LSU today. But you can't play a really good team at their hometown and then have all these bad plays, all these, what I'm saying, mishandles. Right? It just can't happen. So that is the reason why this Arkansas team lost this game, is because all the mistakes. You get down there to the red zone and you can't capitalize. You're getting false starts. That is the things that kill championship teams. Oh, they not a championship team, but a really good team. That's what killed them. Arkansas could have easily won this game, but because of all the bad mishap, all the bad mistakes, that's what happens. When you go into Death Valley, you need to play mistake-free football. That's how you win. And that is what happened when they went in there today with all the mistakes that they made. It pretty much showed by them losing 34-31. All right. So we had Rutgers at number 2, Michigan. And I keep telling everybody, Michigan probably got one of the easiest schedules in college football. It got to be out of them in Georgia. But we know what Georgia made of. We know Georgia can play a ranked team and beat the brakes off of. But this team right here has played nothing a bad team. People be like, but dang, man, Rutgers undefeated. Rutgers undefeated. They 3-0. Well, they was 3-0, played 3 bad teams. Okay? So I'm not finna go ahead and just say that this team right here is a really good team because they played 3 other bad teams. So Michigan got to be the most luckiest team in the world by having this easy schedule. And did you know Michigan won't play a ranked team until like week 9, which they will play Penn State then. That is like the only game where they will go on the road because they play Ohio State at home. So this is the only game this season that this team right here will, playing against a ranked team and not at home. So that's crazy. All right, that's crazy. All right, but in the end, they won today's game 31-7. Jim Harbaugh came back. Welcome back, Jim. And like I said, this team have to do more. When I see them playing against Rutgers, I expect for them to beat Rutgers 44-6. All right, then we'll start taking them more serious as the number 2 team in the nation. All right, we had number 16 Oklahoma against Cincinnati. Oklahoma wins 20-6, but Oklahoma didn't look good. Their defense looked good, but their offense struggled all day. Maybe it's because they played at Cincinnati. Maybe it's just this team right here is just not good enough. All right, maybe they've been playing against bad teams as well, and we've been overlooking, that this team right here is really not a good team. But we'll find out how good they are in a couple of weeks when the Red River Shootout, as when they get ready to face against the Texas Longhorns. All right, so we'll pretty much find out then. And I already talked about number 19 Colorado at number 10 Oregon. Basically, Oregon blasted them 42-6. This right here was a humble pie. Put the humble pie on Coach Prime and Shador. Now, this team right here will face against USC next week. So we'll pretty much see how good this team is and how resilient this team is. Can this team bounce back? All right, that's what we really want to see. But we had number 22 UCLA at number 11 Utah. That was one of my upsets. I got that one wrong. I said that UCLA would win that game, but in the end, Utah won 14-7. One of those touchdowns was basically a defensive touchdown. So you take that off and it's 7-7, and it's a toss-up, whoever wins. But UCLA freshman quarterback Dante Moore had a horrific game. All right. This right here was one of the worst games I've ever seen a quarterback play. But he's a true freshman, and I won't be too hard on him. But today's game, his game was mostly the reason why this team lost this game right here, because of how bad he played. And you can't play that bad at Utah, okay? So you can't, the same thing I said about Arkansas, you can't be going into these hard environments and playing terrible and thinking that you're going to win a game. But if you just make a few plays, this game right here could have easily went the other way. So my upset could have been right, but in the end, my upset was wrong, and I'm okay with that. Okay, we had number 18 Duke at UConn. Duke won 41-7. Duke still undefeated, but we'll see how good Duke is. As you know, Duke next week will play against Notre Dame, so we will find out how good this team is. As you know, College Game Day will be heading up there to South Bend to actually watch these two teams play. And I got a feeling that this right here going to be one of my picks this week. So I'm going to make sure that I spice it up a little bit when it comes down to Duke against Notre Dame. But like I said, Duke is undefeated. They beat a good team. So I'm not going to put too much emphasis on them beating bad teams when, they have beat a good team. So in the end, they beat Clemson. So, they got a quality win. And Clemson almost beat Florida State today. So I'm going to give them their props. They're undefeated. And it won't surprise me if, they go neck to neck with Notre Dame, even though, Notre Dame is a really hell of a good, really good team. All right. We had number 20 Miami at Temple. Miami wins 41-7. This Miami team is good. That's all I can really say about them. I think that this team right here could win the ACC, but I need to see them a little bit more. Yes, they beat Texas A&M, but I need to see them a little bit more before I can actually know that this team right here is for real. But today, they put a spanking on Temple, and this is a really, really good team as they remain undefeated. We had University of Texas San Antonio at number 23 Tennessee. Tennessee beat them 45-14. This game right here was close in the second half. Now, Joe Milton, I just don't know if this dude right here is that guy. We see him sitting down, throwing the ball 80 yards, but I want to see you do this in the game. I want to see you dominate in the game, how you dominate, the pregame. Throwing all the long bombs and all this other crazy stuff. And also, this week said that they don't think Joe Milton is an NFL quarterback. They said the same thing about Anthony Richardson, and he's been balling the first couple weeks. So I'm not going to say that. But I will say this. I need to see more from him in the game because Tennessee really got a really, really good team. around him. And I just want to see them more. Yes, they blew out San Antonio today, but this game right here was a little closer until like the end of the game. Maybe the fourth quarter is when they started pulling away. All right. So we had number 14, Oregon State at number 21, Washington State. I've been riding with Washington State all season. I said that they would upset. I said that they would upset Wisconsin, and I said they would upset this Oregon State team. Guess what? I was right again. This is that one team right here that I'm not scared to go with, because I think that Cam Ward is one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and he have this team ready. Like, this team right here is gonna score 30. So you need to basically you're gonna have to beat them in a shootout, with Oregon State, almost beat them. It was 38-35, even though they was up like 38-14 or 38-21 or something like that. But in the end, Oregon State ended up coming back and they lose by 3. But this Washington State team is a team to be reckoned with in the Pac-12. And I say, man, the Pac-12 is the best conference right now. They have the most complete teams in college football right now over there in the Pac-12, and Washington State being one of them. That's right there why I appreciate y'all, Washington State. Y'all was the only team that I picked as an upset, and I got my pick right. So I definitely appreciate that. All right. We had Charlotte versus number 25, Florida. Florida pretty much beat them 22-7. There's something wrong with this Florida team. For them to beat a bad team 22-7. Now, they just beat Tennessee last week by like 14 or 21 points. But you come out here this week and beat this team right here 22-7. Makes no sense to me. Makes no sense to me. How good is this Florida team? Was that just a fluke win last week? Or is this team right here the real team? What's the team that we saw in week 1 against Utah? What's going on with this Florida team? Hey, maybe y'all can answer this question for me. What's going on with this Florida team? But winning today 22-7 against a very bad Charlotte team, that's not a good look. All right. But in the end, they won 22-7. All right, we had UAB at number 1 Georgia. Georgia pretty much dominated them like they do pretty much everybody, 49-21. And the Georgia team is still riding the 20-game winning streak. And this right here is the 100th win of Kirby Smart's career as a head coach. This man right here is pretty much tied with Nick Saban for the most wins in his first 8 years. This is crazy. This is crazy that this man right here is on a Hall of Fame GOAT type of trajectory of his career, because he already have 2 national championships. If he can win maybe 4 more, he's going to be right up there with Nick Saban and Paul Bear Bryant. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be right up there towards the top. And I feel that he still got a lot of years left. And with the way he recruits, this Georgia team is going to be a contender every single year in the SEC and in the college football world, period. All right. So this Georgia team, this team right here, nobody's talking about. But this team right here is on. This team have a chance to do something that only teams did back in the old days, was get a 3-peat, 3 straight national championship. This right here is what this Georgia team can do this season. And we're not even talking about that, because I think we're bored when it comes down to Georgia. We done seen them dominate the last 2 years. We don't even want to talk about them no more. Well, guess what? This team right here is loaded. This team right here is really good again this year. And don't be surprised come December, January time frame, this team right here is getting up there again, going for another national championship, which I think that's exactly what they most likely going to be at. All right. So, but they got the job done today. We had number 3 Texas at Baylor. I picked this game right here. I said that this game right here, Baylor is another one of those teams that, can kind of scare you when you're playing at home against them. But this Baylor team here is terrible. This Baylor team right here is one of the worst teams that I've seen play. And they got beat up on today against Texas, 38-6. Now, this is the Texas Longhorn team that we've been waiting to see. Not the one from last week that struggled. We want to see this team right here. We want to see the one that went to Tuscaloosa and beat the Alabama Crimson Tide down there. That is the Texas Longhorn team that we want to see. When you playing against a bad team, you supposed to slap that bad team around. You supposed to beat the brakes off of that bad team. You supposed to show that bad team that they are a bad team. Okay? And that's exactly what the Texas Longhorn did today. All right. Let's talk about number 6, Ohio State at number 9, Notre Dame. Now, this right here is a game right here. This is another one of the upset games that I picked. I picked Notre Dame to win this game. and Notre Dame should have won this game. But in the end, Ohio State ended up scoring at the end with 1 second to go to win the game. Now, this is the problem that I got with this game. I blame this right here on coaching, Marcus Freeman. Now, everybody know I love Marcus Freeman, but in the end, you have to be held accountable for this game right here because you only had 10 players on the field for 2 plays in a row. Now it makes sense why the wide receiver kept being wide open in this game. You have to make sure that you get your personnel. And I got to blame the player as well because you know you're supposed to be on the field. Why the hell are you not on the field? Makes no sense to me. How you gonna not be on the field? How you gonna not be on the field and cause your team to lose the game in which they ran where the defensive end should have been? You see, so this right here was all around bad for the head coach and the players because you have to get your team, you have to get your players on the field to make sure that this thing don't happen. Notre Dame did everything in their power to win this game, and they should have won this game. Notre Dame was the better team all game, except the last 1 minute and 40 seconds. And to be honest, I do not like this. I do not like the fact that you can use a timeout to stop the 10-minute runoff. I think they should stop that. I think that the 10-second runoff should be mandatory. It don't matter that you got a last timeout. The 10-second runoff should be the 10-second runoff. And like I said, Notre Dame could not stop one play because Ohio State ran one play, which they was getting the ball to number 4 in the slot every single time. And it's like they didn't want to guard him. He was running wide open all those plays. And I just don't understand how Marcus Freeman allowed that to happen. And that is why Ohio State went in there and beat them 17-14, in which Ohio State should have lost 14-10. But hey, it is what it is, and that's one of my upsets pick that I was wrong about as well. All right, we had number 24 Iowa at number 7 Penn State. Penn State won 31-0. We already know Iowa got bad offense, so Penn State, they got a really, really good defense. But I expect same thing when I said about Michigan. I expect for them to beat a bad team. Well, not saying that Iowa's bad, but I feel like they should have put up 38, 45. But win is a win, I guess, and especially in the Big Ten. Iowa's a very tough team. They got very, very, very good defensive players. So I would take that 31. Now, Rutgers, on the other hand, I can't accept that 31 because I know that Rutgers is not better than Iowa. So, but in the end, Penn State got it done, and they still remain undefeated. In the next few weeks, this Penn State team will be meeting against Michigan. Also in Ohio, they will be playing against Ohio State as well. So this team right here could easily be going into that Ohio State-Michigan game, whichever one is first. I think it's Ohio State's first. Undefeated. And like I said, this is a really, 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 really good team, this Penn State team. All right. And another one of my upset picks, number 17, UNC at Pittsburgh. I said that Pittsburgh was another one of those chicken places that you don't want to play at. What did North Carolina do? Go in there and beat the brakes off of them. Beat them 41-24. Drake May, another great game. Now it's time for me. I got to start opening up my eyes, get the cataracts out of my eyes because, hey, I've been picking against North Carolina all season. I've been saying that this team right here is not good. Well, I've been saying they're not good as they are on paper because they're missing their star wide receiver, which as y'all might know, he had to sit out all season because they was ruled ineligible. But I got to start getting on Drake May bandwagon because this kid right here can play. You see? So that was another one of my upset picks that I got wrong. Those are my 3. Those are all 3 of my losses this week was upset picks. All right, and I accept that. All right, we had Cal at number 8, Washington. Listen, Washington is the best team in the Pac-12. You heard it here. Washington is the best team, the most complete team in the Pac-12. All right, Michael Penix Jr. in that offense, those wide receivers. Oh my God, they got a slew of wide receivers. This team right here is so dangerous. They put up 59 points, and it was at halftime. They had 51 points at halftime. So I'm pretty much, they just called the dogs in this game right here because they were 59-32. So they pretty much took everybody out and put in their freshmen and let their freshmen go ahead and play against Cal because there was 51 to 6. I think it was 51-6 at halftime. And for them to just only score 7 more points, this team right where 8 more points, this team right here had to take out all their starters. Because, like I said, this team right here is loaded. They're explosive. If you come in here and you play against this team, you better be able to score. And the thing about them is they also got a pretty good defense. So you better be able to at least go head to head with a really, really good defense as well. This team right here with Michael Penix Jr., I'm putting him right now. With Caleb Williams having a bad game tonight, I'm putting him right now as the Heisman front runner. Right now, I'm putting him as the Heisman front runner. Even though Caleb Williams had 5 touchdowns tonight, I'm going to still put him as the Heisman front runner right now. And this right here leads me to the last game, number 5 USC at Arizona State. This game just went off. I was watching it. USC wins 42-28. This right here was a good game, a very close game. And like I said, Arizona State is a very tough team. They are. They're a really tough team. It's a lot of Pac-12 teams out there that's tough. But Caleb Williams and this offense was able to get it done. Caleb Williams threw for 322 yards, 20 for 31. At times, he did not look like himself. At times, he looked a little rattled. At times, he looked a little off. But I'm not going to hold that against him because I know how great he is. Maybe they were just looking for making him and Lincoln Riley was looking forward to going to Colorado next week. As you know, they will be traveling to Coach Prime's Colorado Buffaloes next week for a showdown with them. So maybe that's what it was, because this game right here, he was very, very off when it came to a lot of stuff, being sacked 2 times. But USC, they team, I like what I saw from their defense tonight. Their defense was able to get a lot of sacks. They had 8 sacks as a team. Bear Alexander, the transfer from Georgia, as you all know, he finally got his first sack. He was pretty much dominating. Could have had 2, but I think one of them was called back by offside. But like I said, they're going to have to play mistake-free football next week. All right? And Jerry Rice's son, another hell of a game. He's just coming out of nowhere. I'm just being honest. Nobody never knew nothing about this kid. We knew he was in college. Now he done got to USC with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley turning him into probably going to be an NFL prospect right now. All right. Brandon Rice, 7 catches, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Zachariah Branch, 4 catches, 68 yards. But some of these other players are going to really have to get it going, because next week they're going to need everything. They're going to need everything going down to Colorado, because I think Colorado is going to be on a mission next week. I think they're going to be ready next week. They're going to be trying to prove everybody wrong. And I expect for that offense to be fired up to come out there and play against this USC defense. But I also expect for Caleb Williams to be ready. I expect for him to be ready to look Shedeur Sanders eye to eye. And I expect for him to show him why he is the best quarterback in all of college football. But hey, that right there will be something we'll be talking about all week between these 2 players and who I think is going to win, who's going to have a better game. But hey, this right here was my week 4 recap. I gave you all my picks. Like I said, I was like 12-13-3. I lost all my upset games in which I would have never win with those. I would have been undefeated. So hey, don't y'all hold that against me. But hey, make sure y'all tune in for the next segment of the Real Untouchable podcast with me, Ray Diggs. Hey, thank you all, and continue to support the channel. Make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button, and also go to the Facebook page, the Instagram page, and also go on there and send me a friend request, and I'll pretty much accept you, and you can see all of my content. It's going to get better and better. I'm about to get ready to start going into all types of stuff, versatile. I'm versatile when it comes to everything. I can talk about everyday life. I can talk about everything. So make sure y'all tune in to the next segment of the Real Untouchable podcast, and also the Let's Be Great with Ray Diggs, all right? Because that's my motto. Be great, dream big, stay humble. That's my motto right there as well, all right? So hey, peace, and you all have a great week. All right. And like I said, I will be talking about that USC and Colorado game a little bit more as the week goes by, y'all. And hey, y'all have a blessed week. Make sure y'all don't work too hard. All right. Peace. I'll talk to you all sometime this week. I gotta start getting into my NFL picks as well, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right. So hey, peace, and have a blessed week, y'all. Peace.